We're here today, we're going to try to fix my Can-Am X3 turbo. It's got a misfire. It says misfire on cylinder 3. It's throwing a 303 code, and occasionally it'll pop into limp home mode. And so I have a big loss of power and just kind of have to drag it home. Anyway, we're gonna pull the spark plugs out. We're gonna replace some ignition coils, and gonna walk you through just how simple that is. So let's get to it. So whenever I'm working on this thing, I use this 4-foot fiberglass ladder. It's just about perfect height. So I'm going to show you how we get into that by taking the cover off the belt intake and the cover off the intercooler. They both just clip in. There's no tools, no screwdrivers, no pry bars required. They just pop right out. And you got to pop this one panel out between the seats, and that'll expose your turbo and kind of give you a view in there to your ignition coils and all the things that you need to undo. You can see that one hose clamp there. You'll have to take that off. And while we're talking about that, I would take that one off rather than the other end of it. I've seen guys try to take the other end of that off, and then over on this side you'll see there's a bolt and another hose clamp on the intercooler. Just take that hose clamp off there. It's real easy to get to. You can get to it through this opening, or you go around by the wheel. To me, it depends on whether it's hot or not. If it's hot, I'm going to go in between the seats, believe it or not, and right over the turbo. But if the machine's cool, it's pretty comfortable going in over the wheel. And then you've got two 10mm bolts that you take out at the back of the intercooler. And I think you'd already seen the two at the front, but we'll take those out here in a few minutes. And now we'll come in over the wheel and get this larger hose off the intercooler, and that's a 7mm. I just use a 1/4" drive ratchet with a 7mm deep well socket on it. A lot easier than using a screwdriver. Just take this clamp loose, and then you can just wiggle it around a little bit, and you can just pull that right off with your fingers. Usually, you know, every situation is going to be a little different, but you'll see I just reach in there with my fingers and pull it right off. So just that simple, not too bad. And like I said, on the other hose that you'll take off by the cab, there's a matching end like this on the other side of the intercooler, but it's just too hard to get to. And I've watched guys struggle with it, and I just take the little end right off the turbo, use the same 7mm socket, and just undo it, and you're out of there. A And it had quite a bit of dirt around it, so I was going to take and just blow it off with a little portable leaf blower just to get the dust and debris off of it. And here I'm using a screwdriver to just kind of break the seal. Here it's on aluminum and it's kind of stuck. It's not stuck badly, but it's got a little more of a suction bite to it than the other one did, plastic on plastic. So now it's just about ready to come out. Just kind of get both hands free. Just kind of tip it up and out of there. And once you get this loose and kind of push towards the back and up and out, the intercooler has a fan on the bottom of it that's got a wire connection to it that's got a zip tie around it, holds it in place. And you'll see me fiddling with this a minute here. I went ahead and unhooked it, but then after I did, I realized I really didn't need to. And just kind of a waste of time and effort. So you can see there where it's unhooked, but you don't really have to. There's enough wire there that you can do everything you want with it hooked together. Taking all the plugs out. They're a 9/16 plug, and they're way down in the valve covers. So you need a good spark plug socket to grip that plug and pull it out, or a piece of fuel line or something to push down over the top of it to pull them out, because it's way down in there. But anyway, I'm just taking the plugs out to clean them off, and I'm going to replace the coils while I'm in here. I had some extra coils, so I'm going to go ahead and stick those in just to see if that takes care of it, and we'll go from there. So you can see on these spark plugs, you can see the amount of anti-seize. It's a white anti-seize. They're just drenched in them. So anyway, I cleaned it all off. It took about a paper towel on each spark plug to get all that stuff off there. And I left enough on there that I felt like it had protection, but not overdone. So we're going to put the coils back in now. Got the plugs back in. I'm going to plug these coils in and bolt them down. You've got a little ground wire that goes to it, and a T30 Torx. Just slip your bolt through there and tighten your coil down and your ground clamp all in one shot. So at this point, you're just going to hook your intercooler lines back up and your two 10mm bolts that hold it on this side, and then we'll go around and over the wheel and put the passenger side intercooler line back up and on. So it's a real simple process to finish up from here. Now, don't forget your two 10mm bolts up here on top. You need to get those in, and then you're ready to put your covers on. Put your interior panel on, put your cover over your intercooler, and then lastly you'll put your cover on for your air intake for your belt. We've been through all this. That shows you how to get to all this stuff and makes it really easy. It's not too bad at all. After you've done it a couple times, realistically you can do this from start to finish and be back on the road in less than 30 minutes with just simple tools. And that's a 7mm socket, a 10mm socket, a couple of extensions, a 9/16 spark plug wrench, and a T30 Torx bit to take the ignition coil retaining bolts out. But that's all there is to it. So how many of you have found yourselves frustrated by the ventless cans? So today I'm going to show you how to take care of that. It's really simple. You go on the interweb and you buy some vents. I think there were 6 to this pack. It says as a set, do not separate. So I don't know if these cans will have to stay together for the rest of their lives or not, but I'm guessing it's for the people that work filling the orders, not to break them open to fill an order for one. But anyway, so you basically take a small drill bit to get you a pilot hole, and then a 1/2-inch drill bit, put through there, and then just push them in. So we'll show you how that works. Nice smooth hole. If you don't do the pilot hole, what sometimes you can end up with is kind of a triangular hole, which would be no bueno. There we go. Voila. The vent. So after all that, what we've decided is it was bad fuel. We got to looking into when we bought fuel for it, and it had been several months, and we're afraid that the fuel had started to turn. Just ethanol, these 10% ethanol fuels can break down, and so anyway, that's what we did. We dumped the fuel, we started over, and you know, whatever was tripping it is not tripping the codes anymore. The machine's running great. So if you have any of these kind of problems, it's good to know how to change the plugs in it. It's good to know how to change the ignition coils in it and all that sort of stuff. So don't be afraid to just jump in there and do it. But if you're having problems with a limp mode or a code, always check the fuel first, and then I'd probably take a look at the belt second. If you have any questions or problems, just shoot me a comment and I'll try to help you answer them. Not an expert, not a professional at it, just been stuck in the woods a couple times in different machines. So anyway, have a good week and thanks for tuning in.